o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Do you know, on this Veterans Day, as we recognize our veterans, and the word hero is associated with our veterans quite often, the word hero also goes to those in the medical field who are trying to figure out a way to stop cancer and then to stop any of these diseases, especially when a child is affected. And Dr. Ann F. Reilly is on the phone. She is the medical director of the Cancer Center at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. She is talking to us about the developments in childhood cancer research and the need for further funding and research that could lead to cures. Gosh, that would be great. And what a heroic thing to be doing. My goodness, when you speak about heroes, that you fit right into that category, Doctor. Thank you so much for being on the air with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here to talk to you.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, my goodness. How many children in there right now?
Oh, my gosh, I don't know. We have 430 beds in our hospital.
Wow.
Lots of kids.
Wow, you're doing an amazing job. We just don't have any clue what other people do with their lives. We do such a little thing, Robin and I. I mean, we talk on the radio. It's just doesn't even seem to compare to what you do. But I guess our role in this is to help spread the word and maybe to help raise money. I'm hoping that helps a little bit anyway.
For research.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. You know, research is so important because, you know, there are about 16,000 kids a year in the United States diagnosed with cancer. And while that sounds like a big number, it's many fewer than adults. And so, you know, it's really important to make sure that some of the research dollars for cancer go to helping us figure out how to cure childhood cancer.
And when you compare childhood cancer to adult cancer, is there a noticeable difference? Do children have a better ability to fight it off?
Well, it's hard. You know, the cancers that children get are different. They're more likely to get brain tumors and leukemia than adults. And treating children with cancer is very different than treating adults, because when you think about children are small and they're growing, right? They have their whole lives ahead of them to grow and develop. And so in addition to killing the cancer cells, you have to be very mindful of keeping their normal tissues growing and developing.
Wow.
And because sometimes the cancer survivors are left with side effects, and that might even be worse than the cancer.
Well, absolutely. So we want to cure the cancer, but we want to leave the child as whole and normal as possible. And that does speak to the kinds of treatments that we're using. You know, our research is really being focused here at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia on creating more precise and targeted treatments that kill the cancer, but leave the rest of the child in good shape.
You know, the word cure, I can remember, we've been doing radio for a long time, and I can remember when doctors were very reluctant to use the word cure when it came to cancer, but you're using it freely now. That sounds like a good news to me.
Well, that's our goal here at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. We would like to cure every child with cancer. Now, we aren't there yet. Right now, you know, about 85% of the kids who get cancer are cured, and that sounds great, but that leaves 15% of kids who still need better treatments, and that's what we're doing with our research, is trying to get our treatments even more sophisticated and better so that we can cure those children as well.
Are there more children now than ever being diagnosed with cancer?
You know, the incidence of cancer overall in both adults and children is going up slightly, and I don't think we understand the reason for that. But it does make even, you know, the pressure even more to think of new ways to treat kids.
Every once in a while there'll be a fringe story, I guess I'll call it that, and I don't know if this is even relevant to what we're talking about today, but I'm just curious because I think it says something about attitude or something, mind over matter maybe. But every once in a while you hear a story about a child who has a brain tumor. And he will imagine that the brain tumor is this enemy that he has seen on a video game, and that he's fighting it, and then he shows up at the doctor, and the doctor says, "Wow, it's almost gone. What are you doing?" Are those stories true? Because we hear those stories every now and then, right?
Well, you know, I've never seen that happen, but I wouldn't ever say that something like that isn't true, because I think the power of the mind is incredible. I will tell you that we try not to rely on the power of the mind. We try to help along with some therapy as well. But you know, kids are amazing, so you never know.
In our notes, we were told that you grow cells in a lab and then you put them back into the patients.
Well, we have this very exciting treatment. You know, there's been some research at the University of Pennsylvania that we've been able to translate into treatment for children with a certain kind of leukemia. And you're right, we take out some of their normal white blood cells, a cell called a T cell, and in the lab, the cell is changed to make it fight the leukemia cells and then given back to the children. So this is a very experimental therapy that we piloted here at CHOP. We've treated 48 children with that treatment here and been able to show that it does actually work to kill the leukemia cells.
Oh,
now there
wow.
are some side effects associated with it, and so we are really, it's research, and we are trying to figure out exactly how to use it, but very promising.
So I'm in kindergarten when it comes to understanding our bodies. I'll probably always be in kindergarten, but here's what I feel like I've learned. I've learned that when a germ enters our body fights it off, and then at least for a while we have an immunity to that germ. Does that same kind of process happen with cancer?
Well, it may, and when we do this immunotherapy, we are training the child's own white blood cells, so a part of their immune system, to kill the cancer. So in that instance, we are trying to harness the power of the immune system to kill the cancer. So yeah,
so
a little bit like that.
So if I'm immune to chickenpox because I had them once in my life, and I guess I'm immune for the rest of my life, am I? Does that not apply to cancer, or does it?
It would be a great thing if it did. It's a little bit more complicated than that because every cancer is a little bit different. So most chickenpox is the same, but each person's cancer and each incidence of cancer is a little bit different, and that's why it's so hard to treat, because each therapy maybe needs to be a little bit more individualized than that.
Do we have a Shands hospital here in our community that treats children, and they do cancer research? Do you share information with them, or do they send their physicians up there to learn from you to help treat our children in our community?
Well, I think certainly research that are done in places like the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and in other hospitals are published and spread throughout the country. And, you know, there's a group called the Children's Oncology Group, which a lot of the pediatric oncologists in the country belong to and share information about how treatments are working in children across the country. So absolutely, it's really important to share the results of your research so that other people can use them and that we can all benefit from being able to improve treatment for children with cancer.
It is probably the only thing we can do as broadcasters is to help spread the word about things that the general public can do to help out in any given case. So let's wrap up with the last minute or so that we have with you, Doctor, and get that information. Do you have a website you can share with us to either learn more about pediatric cancer or pediatric cancer research, or how we can help with donations, etc.?
Absolutely. So our website at cancer.chop.edu has lots of information about different kinds of child cancer and some of the research that's going on here, and absolutely ways to support it, because supporting research is really what's going to move us forward to cure every child with cancer.
Wow.
Give the website again. Say it again.
Cancer.chop.edu. Cancer.chop.edu.
Okay, and CHOP, for those who don't know, is the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia,
I'm sorry. Either way, it's still...
It's still in Pennsylvania.
What is it, 46 degrees right now? What's the temperature in Philadelphia right now? You getting snow?
It's about 52, so a little warm for us, actually.
A little warmer than yesterday, because yesterday we were speaking to somebody in Philly, and it was 46, right?
Yes.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for what you're doing. I really, truly do think that you are a hero, and thank you for being on the air with us, and thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you. You know, it's really the children who are the heroes, and we're just here to take care of them. So thank you for having me talk today.
In true hero form. All right, we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Low clouds and areas of fog will give way to partly sunny skies today in this Veterans Day holiday with a high of 81 to 85. Tonight will be mainly clear with lows ranging from the upper 50s and a few inland spots to the mid to upper 60s along the coast. Tomorrow mostly sunny and quite warm, high 84 to 88. For Friday, plenty of sunshine and pleasant.